Welcome to Missed Conversations. Today, we're going to go through the unstoppable journey of Arvind Prabhoo, a very, very dear friend and a man who has achieved so much. So, Arvind, let's start with the fact about your journey. You've grown up at Villepale with your family. So, a little bit about your family, your journey at Villepale.
So, thank you for having me on your show, Rahat. And I know we've been discussing this for quite some time, but finally the day has come. So, thank you for having me. About my journey, my early years, growing up in Villepale, growing up in Mumbai, I remember that it's been just a wonderful childhood that I had. We are a very large family. From my mother's side, she had 6 siblings, and from dad's side, 9 siblings. So, very
Large
large,
family.
very large family, and myself and my 2 other siblings. Very, very close knit family, coming from a educated background on both my parents' side, and a political background from my mother's side initially, and then of course dad got into politics. But growing up those years, I remember a lot of fun going to school. At first, I was in a Saint Xavier school, which is down here in Villepale. And my sister, she was in Jamnabai Nursery, which was the most prestigious school at that time. So my brother and me, we used to wonder why we are not in that school, and we were pretty notorious growing up. We used to get into fights all the time in school, and I thought my parents then realized that we should move on to a better school. Not that Saint Xavier's was a bad school, but we moved from Saint Xavier's to Jamnabai, and a wonderful journey in Jamnabai school. Lots of friends, lots of growing up, lots of learnings, lots of friends, very good friends who are still very close to me. I remember taking part in healthy baby competitions, winning
Wow.
a few. I still
Interesting.
have a picture of that. So, all in all, a wonderful journey. And growing up in Villepale, which is the seat of cultural activities in Mumbai. I don't know how many of you guys know, but we have maybe 10 educational institutes and a lot of other institutes, culturally and educationally, very, very rich in Villepale. So that background kind of shaped my life. And so all I remember about childhood is just wonderful memories, lots and lots of fun, lots and lots of school trips. We went on lots of school trips, and just generally a very happy,
Childhood with a large
with a
family.
large family, all my siblings. I remember every weekend we used to go to town. So my parents live in South Mumbai, used to live in South Mumbai, and so all my relatives, all my cousins were in South Mumbai. So every Friday evening or Saturday morning, we used to go there and spend time in South Mumbai, either in Kolaba or in Gamade Road on Pedder Road.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so
Tell
very,
me
very
a
nice,
little
yeah.
bit, tell me something about, you worked with Bal Thackeray and your journey into politics.
So correction here, Rahat. I did not work with
Okay, I'm sorry.
sorry, my father. Uh, so my grandfather on my mother's side was in Congress, and he was a very well-known personality, minister in post-independence, became the governor of Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. And my parents got married in 1964, and Bala Saheb Thackeray started the party in 1967.
Okay.
And he had made a call for, at that time, Marathi youth to come together. And my father was always socially very inclined, although he was a doctor, he was very socially inclined. And um, having seen my grandfather or his father-in-law work in politics, he must have asked my grandfather as to which direction to go. And the situation at that time was such that Maharashtra was in a lot of turmoil and Mumbai was in a lot of turmoil.
Yes.
And that is when Bala Saheb came up with the Shiv Sena.
Okay.
And he had appealed to all the youth, the sons of the soil, so to speak, to come and join him. And my father was very, very impressed by Bala Saheb and his thoughts. And also, of course,
It's
wanted
quite a
to do.
personality.
Yes, I mean, he was a great personality. And I have had an opportunity of meeting him many times
Sure.
when I was young. And post my accident also, I met Bala Saheb many times. But Dad got very influenced with that, with thought, that philosophy of what Bala Saheb wanted to do. And obviously took permission from my grandfather, my dad's father-in-law, and joined Shiv Sena as a social worker.
Okay.
And then, of course, he got more into politics and
So
wanted to.
what was he working? Of course, he was in the social, but what are the areas which he was looking at?
So there's something known as the local municipal corporator.
Sure.
And in Marathi, it is known as Nagar Sevak.
Okay.
Basically, what Nagar Sevak, this is what my dad used to say. Nagar Sevak means Na is Nal, means water. Ga is Ghar, means housing. Okay, and Ra is Raste, means roads.
Okay.
So housing, water, and roads
Okay.
are what a Nagar Sevak is supposed to do.
Okay.
And these
So all
are
the
ways-
basic elements-
all the basic amenities that anyone would want to
Sure.
do. And if you in the 60s, in the 67, I was born in 67, and my dad started his political career around the 70s.
Sure.
Vilepale as an area was not developed. And coming from South Mumbai over here was a completely different. So this was a village. It was a forest. I remember my mother telling my father, "ये मुझे कहाँ पे लेके आया आप?" You know, imagine in the 60s and 70s, Vilepala was
It was still growing.
a
It was
distant
still
suburb,
growing,
very
yeah.
distant suburb. So he worked more in these basic amenities required for the basic people over here.
Going back to your school life, you hated maths in schools, but you enjoyed business. So can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes, so I hated maths, and everyone knows that. Even my teachers knew that. Something about maths always troubled me. I never liked. I used to hate it. That's my.
But when
Sorry
you're
for
doing
this.
business, you're doing numbers,
But
right?
that happened later on in life. So business came on later. But maths was something I remember. My mother was very good in maths. Although she was a doctor, she was very good in maths. And she would sit with me and try to drill some algebra, geometry, and trigonometry into my head. It never happened. It never happened. I always had that blank look on my face. And I still remember she telling me that there's really not much, just mug it. If you're good at mugging it or
You
by
can mug
hearting it,
maths. Maths is not.
you will be surprised.
Yeah?
You'll be surprised.
Except for the formulas, yeah.
So, and I can say this very well, and most of my friends know that I scraped through in my 10th standard. I don't think I ever got more than 35 marks in maths out of the 100. In my 11th standard, and when I was in college, Mithibai College, I was terrible in maths, and the first semester, out of 50, I got 3 marks. Okay, and and everyone in my class said, "How can this guy get only 3 marks?" So anyway, our professor, his name was Mr. Abhyankar. He was very pissed at me, and he used to kind of choicest swears he used to say while telling us telling us our marks. So in the second semester, he sarcastically said, "Arvind Prabhoo, you've got 100% more than what you got last time." So I got 6 marks. So in the final exams, I needed, because we had to have a total of 105. So I needed 97 to make that 105 out of 100. And the day before the exam, I was so tensed. My parents were tensed.
It's a huge task.
Huge task. And It would be a real, tragedy if you flunked in your 11th standard. You're not supposed to flunk in 11th.
Nobody does that.
Nobody does in 11th. So, two of my friends, Vipul and Darshan, they came to me late at night, about 10:30, 11, and or 12 even, and they said, Arvind, this is what the paper is going to be tomorrow, and just mug it. Okay. And I asked them, are you sure that this is going to be the paper? And they said, yes, yes, we know this is going to be. And I mugged it. I sat through the night. I studied. Not studied. I mugged it, by hearted everything, every question, every answer. And the next day I went and I gave my exam, and lo and behold, it was the same questionnaire which came.
We're lucky.
Very lucky, very lucky. And I knew the answers, of course. So instead of the 2 hours that we were given, I finished everything in 45 minutes and I was out. And I got those 97 marks, so I did fail. So that's my math story. But coming back to your being good in business has got nothing to do with mathematics, because you only need to know your numbers and you only need how to add and subtract. So that I was good at. I still am very good at that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. More than 3 decades back, you had an accident which turned around your whole life journey. And I would look at it, I think it created a whole different pathway for you. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, so after college in Mumbai, I went to Bangalore to do my medicine. I was in Ramaya Medical College and did pretty well in my studies because medicine is something I used to like. I also had a background with both my parents being doctors.
Doctors, yeah.
I genuinely loved medicine. So I did well in college. And when I was in my 4th year, it was a New Year's Eve, and all of us friends had gone partying. And then we decided after New Year's to go for a drive. And something happened. I don't know. It was an accident. It just happened, and I met with the accident, and I broke my neck. At that time, my friends they rushed me to the hospital, and the whole scenario was a very, very difficult time for my parents and for my friends and my relatives. Unfortunately, I was not given medical aid on time. Immediately. And the golden hour that they call, we missed that golden hour because...
In spite of being immediately rushed into the hospital.
Yes, because it was New Year's evening and we didn't have doctors. The sub-doctors were on vacation and things like that. I had to be driven to a specialized hospital over there. And there, because it was an accident case, at that time, there used to be a procedure where you need police.
Yeah. Without that, you wouldn't start your.
So all that took time, and by the time my parents came in, it was already 5-6 hours late.
That's how you lost.
I lost that golden hour, and then they rushed me to Mumbai, and where I got operated in Sushrusha. It was something known as anterior-posterior fixation. Which means that there was a metal ring in my neck that they put to stabilize the bones which had cracked. The doctors were pretty confident that the operation went well, but we didn't have the luxury of a CT scan over there in 88.
Wow.
There was no CT scan. So they didn't know the extent of damage the spinal cord had.
So they just corrected what they thought was right.
And in injuries like that, then it's what happens is there's a lot of swelling and things like that, and it damages your nerves. And once your nerves are damaged, then they don't regenerate. So it was tough for everyone at that time, and recovering was very, very tough.
But you also went through a phase where. I think you shared that on your book launch, that it was a time in between when you were going through that process when you felt, you reflected, and you thought there was a time when you weren't there?
So yeah, so that's I did have an outer body experience.
Okay.
Within this immediately after the accident, and they say all this, but I really experienced it. That I saw what was happening to myself from I don't know which dimension I was in.
Yeah.
But yes, it was a brief outer body experience that I had, where I saw my friends trying to revive me, taking me to the hospital. Some of them asking whether I was dead, whether I was alive. Yeah, I remember that very vividly, and it did happen to me, and that kind of changes your life.
And you're also given a
perspective.
choice, right?
Absolutely. Now, so they say that if it's not the right time, then you
don't,
you
yeah.
don't you don't move on to the next
Yeah,
plane. Yeah,
true.
So I guess my time was not there.
You had a lot more to do.
Yeah, and now I'm 38 years after that, and literally kicking around.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So yes, it was a difficult time for everyone.
Arvind, when you went through your accident journey and your period, a lot of pain. Must have gone through a lot of pain, which, I don't think one would be able to understand. How did you go through it? Did you have a kind of a teacher, a mentor, or what?
So I'll just like to correct you. 95% of my body has no sensation.
95%.
Of except my face, I don't have sensory sensation all across my body. But my right shoulder hurts 24/7, and it's excruciating pain. Even as we speak, it's paining now, and it's that nerve pain. It's
Internal.
It's an internal nerve pain. But I get by it because I remember a famous song which said, "I'd rather feel the pain than feel nothing at all."
So
And,
beautifully put.
So I rather feel the pain than nothing at all, and one learns to live with it. So when 95% of the body doesn't have any pain, at least that sensation of pain is still alive in me. Otherwise, imagine your life.
Yeah, actually, for you, pain is a sort
It makes
of
me feel I'm alive.
alive. Yeah.
And that's how I look at it. That's how I tackle it. On my right shoulder, I have a tattoo which says "Pain. It's all in how you deal with it." And I got a tattoo made in it. The tattoo is showing a hammer being putting nails into your shoulder, and that's how bad it is. And in spite of the pain, I got that tattoo done on my right shoulder. So that was one of the ways of combating it. And whenever I feel that the pain is getting too much, I just open my shirt and look at my tattoo, and gives me more strength.
What an amazing way. What an amazing way to
Yeah.
look at it. But God give you so much more strength, Arvind. God give you so much more
Thank you.
strength.
Thank you so much.
You came up with a business idea of cable television when you were in the hospital.
So after 2 months rehabilitation over here, we went to the US because rehab over there was supposed to be top notch. And I was at the Spalding Hospital, which is associated with Massachusetts General, which is a very well-known
Yeah, it's
institute.
very.
And so I was there for about 4 or 5 months in the hospital, and every day was challenge. And over there, they had a wired remote control on a television. Now we didn't have wired remote control in '88.
No.
We didn't have remote controls.
You don't have. Yeah, I was just going to say we didn't even have remote
control. There was a wired remote control, and I could switch channels with my hand. And they had about 16 channels in the US at that time. And I used to flip channels because it was, passing time was...
Yeah, you're sitting in the hospital, yeah.
Doing nothing really. And so when I was doing that, I just thought how cool it would be to bring something like this to India. And at that time, if you remember, we only had Sahyadri and Doordarshan.
Doordarshan, yeah.
And Sahyadri was only for an hour or two, I think 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And the kind of variety that they had in the channels, they had History Channel, they had
They had history that
yeah,
early
at
in
that,
life.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they did have History Channel at that time, and news, of course,
That was true.
was there, and movies, entertainment, music, and I thought, why not bring that to India? And I started studying about cable television while I was in the hospital. Once I was out of the hospital, I went to Toronto because there's a very big in Toronto, the cable TV company known as Rogers. So I went to Rogers. I studied their a model, and came back to India and started cable television in India.
How easy was it?
It was not easy because getting equipment, the right
Yeah, there would be
equipment was
challenges. Yeah.
difficult. But one thing which really kind of gave it a fillip was that the Gulf War had started at that time,
Okay.
and
There was
somehow
consumption of
there was
content.
consumption of content. People were very curious to know what is happening in Kuwait, and we were able to catch some signals from a Chinese satellite.
Okay, interesting.
And that kind of really gave us the start that we needed.
Interesting.
I remember getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning because the Chinese satellite used to go over India at 4:20 or something like that, and then we would go and track our satellite dishes at
Okay.
4:30 in the morning, and for 2 hours we would show,
Yeah.
the war.
But you
and-
got
yeah.
the attention.
We
You
got the attention.
audience.
We
you
got the
au-
audience. We got the attention, and then from there, movies, of course, is a big part. And even at that time, to make entertainment affordable was on my mind.
Yeah.
So
True.
for 100 rupees a whole month of 2 channels of movies all across all the time.
But it was just better because Doordarshan was, I remember growing up, and Doordarshan was all about news. You had Chitrahar, you had a little bit of,
yeah.
I think, Top of the Pops, or, some
Yes,
small
yeah,
bits of, and
yeah.
Tabassum, I remember.
I remember the also.
Yeah, so that was entertainment. That's all
Absolutely,
I remember
absolutely,
at that
yes,
point
yeah,
of time.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
think getting access to a lot
Yeah.
more content, and especially movies,
Yes,
and
yeah,
would
new
have been
movies, they were there, and then all these music shows
True.
used to come. So and most important was the affordability,
true.
and everyone could enjoy because television was making a boom at that time, and color television had just started in
Sony, I remember.
yeah,
Sony
yeah,
T-
yeah. So the first Indian color television was BPL.
Okay, BPL.
I don't know
okay.
if you remember what.
No,
BPL
I
was.
remember BPL.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
BPL.
So they started
Yeah.
color television.
Okay.
So Asiad was.
Yeah, it started with Asiad.
Started
Yeah.
with Asiad.
Color television
Yeah,
came into
yeah,
with
yeah,
Asiad.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
So this was
That
just
was the first color experience that
yes,
we had.
yes.
Yeah.
So this cable TV was just like a progression into.
And you
giving
grew it pretty
affordable-
large, right? You had,
Yes, I started a franchising model.
okay.
So basically, what I did was had head ends in 6 different locations, and from there, because I had studied what it is in the US and in America, everything is franchising.
True.
So started giving out very cheap services as a franchisee, and
So
I
you could
called
have a larger outreach.
larger outreach. It would reach people more. It would generate employment for a lot of people, and standardize your product, basically. So all across the city of Mumbai, especially in the western suburbs, right from Bandra up to Dahisar is where my network
Was.
And we were giving very standardized service at very affordable price. So it grew like wildfire.
And then I believe you had some threats when you had achieved those heights, which happens in every, I think, business. You do go through those challenges, right?
Yes, so it was more because it was such a disorganized
Sector.
cash business.
Yeah.
In our country, when there is a lot of cash business happening, then some elements do come in to the picture. And yes, I did have one instance where there was a particular movie which was not supposed to be screened on cable television, and by mistake it was shown by me. So I had some challenges with some people over there, And I was able to diffuse the situation very amicably. I don't think I should go into the details, but
Yeah, sure. No, it's
very
okay. As long as
amicably.
you manage to sort it out.
And yeah, and it turned out to be nice. But yes, it was a challenge. And now reflecting back on it, I think I really don't know how we managed to get through it. But yeah, it
I
happened.
think it's the
yeah.
approach which you take. If you do a hands-on approach, see, if you
Yes.
tackle it with a questionability, it becomes a challenge. But if you have a
Yes.
hands-on approach and you sit with people
Yeah.
and you explain and you understand, of course, the party on the
Yes,
other
other
side
side.
being open to it.
Yes. As long as you are genuine in your
Yeah.
approach.
Yeah, you were very
yeah,
clear. I think
yeah.
you were very
I
clear
think so.
with your
Yes,
thought
yes,
process. I
yes,
think
yeah.
that helps
Yes.
very well. Next comes the phase where you wanted to sell. You got an offer for selling the cable.
Yeah, so
division.
at that time there was a lot of consolidation happening in this is I'm talking about in 95, 96.
True.
Lot
So
of
you actually ran it for more than about 2 decades, right?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I still have a small network in
Okay.
Vileparle. So I was approached by Zee TV at that time, and Zee was making a big network in the entire country. It was known as City Cable.
Yeah. That's how they
And,
started.
Yeah,
their
that's how
journey.
they started cable TV. And I happened to meet the chairman of Zee TV, Shri Subhash Chandra ji, and absolute visionary he was, and very hands-on. So I approached him through some common friends, and he was very fascinated by what I was doing. And he asked me if I was willing to sell the company, and of course I readily agreed because at that time a lot of consolidation was taking place. The number of channels was expanding from 16 channels to 50 channels.
Yeah, you had a lot
80
of
channel- Yes.
private players also coming into
coming
the country.
in. MTV had come in, Zee TV had come in.
Star, you had Murdoch
Star,
also was looking
yeah,
at coming
yes,
in at
yes,
that time. Yeah.
So a lot of consolidation and a lot of expansion was happening. It required huge amount of capital. And it was not easy for me to manage that. And when I got the offer, it was a lucrative offer. I took it. Yeah. So
And it also gives you the thought of moving on and doing something else, right?
yes, yeah, definitely. And then consolidation is something that you should always do in your life. And after achieving what you achieved, then it's better to move on and
Yeah, you can get on to something else.
Yes,
True.
yeah.
So, first that was, I think you got into sports, right? Into cricket. And you picked up the women's cricket mandate.
So after the Zee TV, I was looking for something to do, and I, like everyone in India, is fascinated by
By
cricket.
true.
So I went to the UK for the World Cup, and in between I had a stint with an American newspaper where I was the editor.
Oh,
And
interesting.
yeah, I was an editor for India Post. It's known as India
Yes,
Post.
I'm familiar
yeah.
with India Post, yeah.
So for 2-3 years, I was Mumbai chief or an India chief.
And what
I-
were you covering?
I was covering everything from politics to sport to Bollywood, everything. And it was a weekly magazine.
Okay.
So we used to make a capsule for a week and then send it across to the US. And around that time, I came across the promoter of India Post, and I asked him whether we should do some cricket in the US. And he agreed to that, and we then went to the UK for the World Cup. And then during that World Cup, you know that there was some unpleasant things which happened. And my interest in men's cricket, or cricket as a whole, kind of took a very rude backseat kind of a thing, because you look at cricket as a religion, and then with all these accusations coming about whatever happened at that time, I thought it's better to move on. But loving cricket, I looked at women's cricket. So in 2001, the New Zealand women's cricket team was coming to India. And the Women's Cricket Association of Maharashtra, the lady, she approached my dad because they didn't have funds at all. And so my father directed the secretary to me and said, Arvind is interested in cricket and he'll help you. And then that's how my
That was your entry.
it started entry with women's cricket. So we did the 3 New Zealand matches over here at the CCI, and the entire budget for that was hardly 6 lakh rupees at that time.
Wow. That's
But they
nothing.
didn't have it, and when I saw the girls play, and Nitin was there with me,
Yeah.
and I don't know if he's told you that, but he was of the opinion, what is this women's cricket? And things like, do they even play cricket? And I said, let's go and see how they play cricket. And then when we went and saw them play, we saw Julian Goswami, we saw Mithali Raj. Julian was such a wonderful pace bowler. And
Fabulous.
absolute. And Mithali was just hitting the ball up to the fence and,
Huge potential.
So huge potential, and looked at it and I said, this is the time that I should, because I love cricket, do something for women's cricket. And
what an opportunity.
and it was a great opportunity. They needed somebody to look into their, the association and take women's cricket forward. And for 6-7 years, I was the patron for women's cricket.
Interesting.
Although the women's cricket has become popular now, at that time also we reached the World Cup finals in 2004, 2005.
Okay.
But not much was written about it.
Yeah.
at
It's
that
always a men's.
time.
Was the
yeah.
men's part. I think even still now.
Yes.
It's always, I think it is that whole, the male dominance aspect of it. But I think women in every sport, whether it's cricket, whether it's tennis, whether
Football.
it's football, they have been consistently
performing,
showing
Yes.
great stuff.
And there's no difference, I think. They are amazing athletes. They put an equal amount of effort. They are very, very physically fit. I know the Indian women's cricket team is so fit. Even the hockey team is fit. I mean, so I don't see any disparity between men and women. When it comes to the effort that they are putting in.
True. No, I totally
yeah,
agree. I've seen them a lot when you had the Commonwealth Games
Yes.
out here. I think I
Yes.
saw them perform.
Yeah.
Fabulous. I think you've got to give them that much credit and a push.
And the sacrifice.
Yeah.
And being a woman with all the challenges that they have, and to come and give that kind of sacrifice is something amazing. I still, I would prefer any woman's game more than a men's game, because just for the amount of sacrifices and the multitasking that a woman has to do.
True. You've done a lot as a give back to the disabled as such. You apparently have a foundation, a society,
Yeah.
which you do as such. Can you share a little bit about that?
I don't think I've done a lot. A lot needs to be done. But in my own way, we have something known as the Access for All Foundation. And we thought that, or I thought personally that what is lacking is accessibility. For any person with any disability, access is important. Access to education, access to transport, access to funding.
True.
So Access for All is a foundation that we have, my friend and me, where we provide all these things. And the first thing I realized was that we had no transportation in the city of Mumbai. So I started with a transportation service for people with disabilities. So I bought 2 Tata Winger vans, fitted them with ramps, fitted them with braille, fitted them with a computer so that you could have a GPS in it.
Interesting.
And started that service. And just giving access was empowering them.
Yeah, otherwise
So-
you're stuck at home.
Otherwise,
you're-
yes, even today we don't have seamless transport
No, we don't.
for accessible
We
for
don't.
disabled people, physically challenged.
So you have those facilities. I think some of the Bangalore companies have started with certain kind
Yes,
of
yeah,
facilities,
mobility services,
mobility
yes,
services,
yes.
ramps, and all that stuff.
Yes, but we started that way back in 2005.
Yeah, could have
or
expanded,
6.
no?
Too many challenges.
Okay.
Too many challenges. And I like to start things and give it on, then pass it on. I don't really like to continue doing that because I like to discover myself all the time. So, yeah, and the challenges are vast when it
Okay.
comes to the disability field. There are a huge number of challenges, a huge number of.
I think you did a whole journey across the country to figure
Yes,
out.
yes. We did that in 2011. Four of us friends, two of my women friends, Ninu Kevlani and Sunita Sancheti, and another friend of mine, Nishant. We decided that we need to spread awareness about people with disabilities, particularly in the field of travel
Travel and
tourism,
hospitality.
and education. And spreading awareness that people with disabilities can also travel. And so we did a trip all across the country. We covered 19,000 kilometers in 84 days by road, covered 28 capitals, state capitals, networked with more than 55 NGOs all across, met up with a lot of disability commissioners, chief ministers, governors, all the policy makers, people who would make a difference, and then submitted a report to them as to how.
So, what
we
were the
could-
learnings?
Learning was India is a beautiful country as long as it becomes accessible. Uh, and there was so much to be done, such a lot of work to be done. Very simple things. And this one story I want to share with you. When I met with my accident way back in 88, in 87, 6 months prior to my accident, I had visited the US. As a young kid, backpacking all across the US. And within 6 months, I had to go back. So when I was going back, I realized that everywhere in the US, the accessibility sign is there,
True.
which I had not noticed 6 months before because I was not looking for it. So it's a perception. If you're looking for it and if you need it, it should be there. So I kind of realized that in India we don't have accessible solutions. We don't. So we call it a barrier-free environment. Barrier-free in all aspects: physical, visually impaired, hearing impaired, and that is something which we need to really work on.
Work
in
towards,
India.
yeah.
That is the learning, and I think the government had policies. Only implementation was
Was a
lacking.
challenge.
So now things are getting better.
You
Yeah.
still think so? I think that we have very a long road ahead still to.
Because there's always evolving.
Yeah.
See, we now have the basic infrastructure, but now our needs have increased. So we are evolving, and now because of the internet, we know what is happening in the West. So every time our evolution we need to upgrade ourselves. So in that sense, yes. But coming back from 1988 to now, there's a sea change.
Yeah.
Absolute sea change.
You've had some experiences where you've helped people. True. Right? Which have been very interesting, touching. Share a little bit about that.
I can share one experience. This one girl, Jasmina, she is a cerebral palsy girl, and she got a job in one of the corporate companies in MIDC in Marol, in Andheri. And she lives in Lokhandwala. So she said, I've got this wonderful job, and but I don't have any transportation. And I had just started a transport service, for people with disabilities. So I offered her at a very subsidized cost. Someone would pick her, my driver would pick her up at 8 in the morning, drop her to the hospital, to the office at 9 o'clock, pick her again at 5:30, drop her back. And this we did for a couple of months. And then she called me and she said, Arvind, I want to increase the amount I'm paying you. And I said, you don't really have to, She said, no, I have now become a permanent in that
Okay.
job.
How lovely.
So now I've got a permanent salary and I would like to pay you a little bit more. So I increased it by about 10-15%, although I was making a loss at that time. But I still wanted her to...
Very touching for somebody to say that.
Yeah, very, very touching. And that's not all. So once she got a permanent job, she increased the amount she used to pay me. And then 6 months or 8 months down the line, she came up to me and she said, now I'm the team leader, so I want to increase, the charge. And the whole thought process behind that was that when you empower someone, make them,
Look at their journey.
make them, they should feel that they are citizens of the country, contributing citizens. And ultimately, I told her you should buy a car, instead of
Using the
using the
service.
service, buy a car, that will be more cost effective for you. And she told me one thing. She said, Arvind, everyone now at home looks forward uh, to my paycheck, because then I'm a contributing member. Otherwise, earlier to that, I was like a dependent on someone.
Dependent, yeah.
So it changed her life, and it gave me immense satisfaction
Yeah,
that I
that's,
could make a change in someone's life.
a person who the opportunity of going to work
Yes,
was
yeah.
not even there, had the
Yeah,
possibility
yeah.
of going to work, grow in the work,
Grow in the
become.
work. Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful
Yeah.
contribution. And what a change.
become contributing to the society.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, people with disabilities are not looked as normal citizens.
True.
So
True.
this gave that normalcy. This gave that that status in the society. That yes, I am part of this society.
True.
And
I think
that-
even in the sporting space, I think the whole Paraolympic sport, etc., getting that kind of opportunities for people who are
It's
disabled.
more
I
like
think
inclusion.
yeah, inclusion. I think
inclusion,
it's important. They are a part of society.
yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Why is it that one doesn't even look
Yeah,
at them
yeah.
in terms of a normalcy?
Yes.
And it's doing so well.
Yeah.
And I think we are now part
And-
of global
Yes. And
competitions.
the para sports people are bringing more medals.
Absolutely.
Than
I
the
noticed
regular
that.
guys.
I noticed
Yeah.
that. I noticed that.
And luckily, the government is now recognizing that.
Yeah, they're
And-
supporting.
yeah,
I think
yes,
acknowledging the
yes,
government
yes,
is
yeah,
supporting that, because I think you have. But you know what, Arvind? It's also the will to be able to achieve that.
Yes,
I think it's
yes.
very, very important. You had that will that you did not want to just be stuck
Yeah, yeah.
in it. You went and did the cable thing, then you did something with the sports and all the initiatives. I think it's very important for people to understand that there is so much you can give. Look
Yeah.
at the positive, look at the possibilities which are immense.
Yeah, I always say look at the ability rather than the disability.
True.
And that's what I have been doing. I mean,
And you can
yeah,
achieve. You
yeah.
have it within you. Why give up? Why give up? Because when there's one door that shuts, there are 10 others which open up.
Yeah. You look at it as an opportunity.
Absolutely.
And then grab it.
You did that, you shared your learnings, and do you follow up on that? Do you follow up on what you've given back to the government? Because it'd be interesting to do that.
I unfortunately have not followed up. But there are people who are doing that, and I see the change.
So at least there's been a beginning.
There is
to
a
it.
beginning. There's a proper direction, and there are activists and there are disability activists who are doing it as their calling, as their profession. And for me, I just like to move on and do something new
True.
all the time.
You've created this club called the Prabodhankar Thackeray
Yeah.
Kreeda. When did this thought come into mind?
So this was built by my father way back in '98, and he had this vision that in the suburbs there was no Olympic-sized swimming pool,
Okay.
and he wanted to build a Olympic-sized pool. And he said that his only dream was to have an Olympian from India.
Okay.
And that's why he built the
So that was the
pool.
vision.
That was the vision. We got this. We built this in 1998. Dad, of course, is no more. His dream, his vision, is still what I'm carrying.
and you've expanded onto it so
expanded
beautifully.
it. We've added much more organized, much more technical support, more coaching. We now made this into an excellence center in 5 sports: swimming, diving, gymnastics, shooting. And we have already produced one Olympian in shooting.
Okay. What's his name?
Rudransh Patil.
Okay.
Yeah. And now we have one other gymnast who's just yesterday gone to Paris for the for the games, gymnastics, and we have very high hopes. Her name is Abha Patil,
Okay.
and
In gymnast too?
she's a gymnast.
Okay.
So I think she will represent our country.
Wow.
Yeah, in the 28
Wow.
Gymnastics.
And this is also, I think, this club is also open to all kinds of people. Right?
Absolutely.
There's no
It's- yeah.
restriction.
There's no
as a sports
restriction.
club.
It's not a club. It's a Kreeda Sankul. It's a sports institute.
Okay.
We don't have a bar. We don't have a cards room. We don't have a billiards room. Everything is sport
The
over
purpose is very, very
here.
strong.
Yes, yeah, is sport.
Sports is one of the things that helps you grow as a
Yes,
person.
yeah.
As such.
It teaches you discipline. It teaches you respect. And these are the
Resilience,
two things
everything.
which keeps your body fit. A healthy mind is a healthy body.
True,
Healthy
totally
body is
true.
a healthy mind.
No, it's a brilliant opportunity. Now you have become the president of the World Pickleball Association.
yeah.
How did that come about?
So around about 2016, 2017, one Mr. Sunil Walawalkar, we call him the father of pickleball in India, he introduced me to the game. And he said, I have this wonderful game and I've been promoting it, but we need the right kind of people to look into it. And the minute I saw the game, I fell in love with it. Having played table tennis and badminton myself, I realized that this game is so easily taken up by everyone. It's very accessible. It's very aspirational.
Yeah, it's a simple game. It's not so
Yeah,
difficult.
anyone who's played any racket sport or even not played any racket sport, it's a very, very easy game to pick up. I looked at that, and from 2017, 2018, did a lot of tournaments. 2019, brought the World Cup of pickleball into India in 2020.
Yes, I
yeah.
came for that. It's very
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, got that. And then internationally, also the game was growing. So I was approached by the International Pickleball Federation whether I would like to head it. And out of 47 countries, we had an election, and I got voted in as the president.
Wow.
So it's been a wonderful journey
an achievement.
going across. Yeah. And now, on the 30th of August, there were two bodies, world bodies. We've managed to merge those two bodies.
Which two
And
bodies?
There was International Pickleball Federation and the World Pickleball Federation.
Okay.
So now we've merged them into one single federation. So
Okay.
Our aim is now to get into the Olympics.
Okay.
So which we will be doing that very soon.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you have, like pickleball, you have a lot of these pad courts, paddle courts, and all that
Yeah.
have come up.
Yeah.
What are those?
No. So pickleball is growing at about 150% in our country year on year. And there's a new sport known as paddle also, which is a more towards squash.
Okay, but it's a combination of tennis and squash,
tennis
right?
and squash, whereas
Right.
pickleball is a combination of tennis and table tennis or
Okay,
badminton.
all
yeah.
right.
So they're two wonderfully positioned games, new age games, very recreational. Paddle is, of course, a little bit more difficult because you need to be an athlete to start with. So, but pickleball is it's a
It's
recreational
a fun.
sport.
I think it's a
yeah.
fun. It's a family.
It's a
I've seen
fun
families
family,
playing it.
It's a
yeah.
community game. It's a lifestyle game. It's very aspirational, and it's growing fastest in the world. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So you're planning to open it up, more centers, more.
Yes, so we are already
collaborations?
doing that. We are already doing that. More centers, more infrastructure, more tournaments. In fact, we are having our national level tournament this month in Jammu. We are in 24 states in the country where we are doing a lot of grassroots development and a lot of
That's
youngsters.
nice. Lot of nice.
We have a lot of players who we've sent them for international tournaments where they are bringing medals for the country.
You're also doing
Yeah.
training with them, right? You also
We
have
do a
training.
lot of we do a lot of coaching. We do a lot of training. In fact, in this Prabodhankar Thackeray Sankul, we have about 40 kids who are staying here as residents
Oh wow.
and taking lessons in pickleball, coaching, their mental training, physical training. So our aim is that at least in pickleball we get an Olympic medal when it comes. And so we are making our kids ready. from now on. And
It's a big thing in the US. I know.
Yes, yes,
In the
yeah,
US,
yeah.
pickleball is very, very
Yes,
big.
yeah,
They
yeah.
say they get acknowledged in colleges also,
Yes, yes.
universities.
Now they are getting scholarships if you're a
Yes,
pickleball
I've
player.
heard about that, yeah.
Yes. So we are making India ready for
Pickleball.
the pickleball. Yes, the Olympic medal definitely.
In.
Yeah.
So what next?
What next? Pickleball into the Olympics is right now my focus. And so I re-evaluate my goals every 10 years. I still have about 3 years for pickleball. And then who knows, when I turn 60, I might find something else to do.
No
And
interest in politics?
I like to be agnostic now. Dad has done his part. And now the politics is not what it used to be. And you can, if you want to serve people, if you want to
There are
bring
different
about
ways
social,
to do it, yeah.
so in my own small way, I'm able to contribute to the society, to the community. Why get into politics?
I'd like you to give a message down to people, as an inspiration of your journey and what people should look at in life.
So life throws up many challenges. And in every challenge, you should look at an opportunity. In my case, I can tell you that I could have, when I went to the US, I could have stayed back in the US and not come to India. But I took it as an opportunity that coming to India, making people aware of disability, about how fulfilling a life you can have in spite of an adversity.
Absolutely.
And I can tell you, I really have had a very nice life. In fact, like I was telling someone that I have enjoyed more in terms of travel, in terms of studying, education, after my
You've done
accident.
everything. I think you've done everything.
Yeah,
and I think so
almost,
much more than a normal person could do also.
Yes, and then it's mind over body, right?
True.
So I think if you have a good mind, healthy mind, you can accomplish most of the things you set out.
Absolutely.
And everyone has a change of course in their life. It's just that how you.
I think how you
look
take
at
it in a
yeah.
positive stride and
Positive
move forward.
stride, yes,
It's very,
yeah,
very
yeah,
important.
yeah.
Thank you very much, Arvind. It was a pleasure having you on
Thank you.
board.
Thank
and
you
all
for-
the best for your continuous journeys of life.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so much, Rahat. Thank you for doing this.
If you like the content we're producing, please do like, subscribe, and share. We're on Missed Conversations with Rahat Beri.